parable in Luke 19. It's called the parable of the pounds or the minas. It's about a wealthy ruler who took a journey and committed to his servants certain money to handle on his behalf. And he gave to each of them a mina, which they say is about 3 months' salary. And then he came back after a long while and reckoned with them. He said, "What have you done with my mina?" And the first one said, "I've made 10 more minas." And the Lord said, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Have authority over 10 cities in my kingdom." The second servant, he said, "What have you done with my mina?" And he said, "I've made 5 minas." And he said, "Well done," but he didn't say good and faithful. He said, "Have authority over 5 cities." So it's very clear. The principle is, according to the faithfulness with which we serve the Lord in this age, we will be apportioned our sphere of authority in the coming age. There will be no favoritism. But then there was one other servant who made nothing. He said, "I was afraid of you, so I just went and hid your mina, and here it is, I'm giving it back to you." And the Lord said, "You wicked and lazy servant." How many of you realize that laziness is also wickedness? We have such an unbalanced scale of values in the church. If a man gets drunk, we think that's awful, and certainly it's not good. And we wouldn't have a drunkard in church. But how many lazy people do we have in church? People who never really take time to study the Bible or to get down in prayer. People maybe who you can't even rely on to do a thorough job anywhere. And the Bible calls them wicked. But I want you to see the end of this parable. Because when this man went away to get his kingdom and return, his citizens sent a message after him saying, "We don't want this man to rule over us." And when he returned at the end of the parable, the final words are these: "But bring here those enemies of mine who did not want me to reign over them, and slay them before me." I was shocked when I felt the impact of those words, because the man is a picture of Jesus. And he says, "Those who rejected my rule, bring them here and slay them before me." He is just as thorough and faithful as judge as he is a savior. He is both. The same one whom God has made a savior, he has also made a judge.